So we cannot now go and do what? And start changing what the text says, or saying the meaning means something else. No, the text says something, it means something. The text says something, it means what it says. We cannot now go and start manipulating it and saying what? No, it has other meanings, and we give meaning to the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Okay, now I would like to talk to Sheikh Shahrayar, our reader here. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he said both hands, can that be metaphorical?
La, Allah has hands.
But why not metaphorical? What is the word that told us it's not metaphorical? You can say hands, and the hands could be metaphorical, right? Hi, Benedict. How are you? أيوة أحسنت. Both, because the word both, that cannot be metaphorical. When you say both, this is saying what? The mafhum of numbers. And the ulama of usul al-fiqh, ya ikhwa, the ulama of usul al-fiqh, when they talk about the how do you call it in English, the meaning of numbers, it is from the most strong. So you cannot say they are what? It is metaphorical. Because numbers are from the strongest of meanings. This is what the ulama of usul say. Therefore, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here said both, he's saying what? The meaning of which, of course, he's giving us a number. Like, the number cannot be metaphorical. Therefore, the people of Sunnah and Jama'ah, ya ikhwa, when somebody came and said, but hand can be metaphorical, it means power. They said, now you're limiting Allah Azza wa Jalla. You are limiting Allah to two powers only. Because both, yadahu, it means ability, meaning Allah has two abilities. La, you cannot limit Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is omniscient, omnipotent, and so on. So you cannot limit him subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, بَلْ يَدَاهُ مَبْسُوطَتَانِ, both of his hands, he's telling us subhanahu wa ta'ala about himself, that he has two hands. Literally. So we cannot now go and do what? And start changing what the text says, or saying the meaning means something else. No, the text says something, it means something. The text says something, it means what it says. We cannot now go and start manipulating it and saying what? No, it has other meanings, and we give meaning to the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla. The book of Allah Azza wa Jalla is the one that gives us meaning. But do we have something that further explains? Yes, the sayings of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in regards to the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and so on and so on. طيب. So here the Jews, they said what? وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ يَدُ اللَّهِ مَغْلُولَةً غُلَّتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَلُعِنُوا بِمَا قَالُوا بَلْ يَدَاهُ مَبْسُوطَتَانِ يُنْفِقُ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. Naam, can you reread the last ayah in English?
Sallallahu ilaykum. The meaning which is, and the Jews said the hand of Allah is tied up.
Okay, wait. The hand of Allah is tied up. So Allah is going to do what now? He's going to refute them and correct them, right? طيب. Continue.
Rather, their hands are tied up and they are cursed for what they said.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us what they said is haram. طيب, what is correct then? Listen to this one, because it is such a diamond that's coming our way. طيب, now Allah subhanahu, and this is used, by the way, by the great imams like the Sharih al-Tahawiyya, Ibn Abi al-Izz al-Hanafi, and Imam Ibn Uthaymeen, and Shaykh al-Islam, and so on, and the imams. Look, here is what the Jews said, which is wrong. That his hand is tied up. The hand of Allah is tied up. غُلَّتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ, their hands are tied up. وَلُعِنُوا بِمَا قَالُوا, and they're expelled from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of what they said. طيب, fine. What is correct then? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is correcting them. Saying what? Shaykh Shahrayar?
The meaning which is, for both of his hands are
both of his hands. Both of his hands. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is correcting them now. He's correcting them, saying both of his hands. So it cannot be something that is metaphorical. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is correcting them here saying بل يداه مبسوطتان. Both of his hands. That's the first correction. The second correction is what?
He gives however he likes.
And before that, both of his hands are
Outstretched.
stretched, and he gives as he likes. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is generous, the most generous. His two hands are stretched. It is not tied up as they said, as if they're saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is stingy. We seek refuge by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But they are what? They are extended, he gives as he wills. So in the maqam of correcting, you cannot understand it in any other way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is correcting them and telling them what the fact is. In fact, it is two hands and it is so and so. You understand what the ulama said? Allahu Akbar. So this is all outside of the book, by the way. I am explaining to you. Again, so that you understand. You say, Tayyib, you are telling us about something and we are in between. We say, this is the maqam of correcting, even for the people that like and love metaphorical things and so on, and batiniya and so on and so forth, and they try to manipulate the text of Allah Azza wa Jal. We say, no, you cannot. Why? Because this maqam now, this speech, this context is context of correcting those that said falsehood about Allah Azza wa Jal. How can it be metaphorical? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them exactly how it is. This is what is correct. What you said is wrong. Both of his hands, then they are two. They are stretched, then they are stretched, and nothing else. He bestows as he wills, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he has a will and he does whatever he wills and he bestows as he wills. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Aywa. Then you don't say they are tied up, you say they give. They are stretched and they give.